my dears. Alex here with Willard today, going to talk to you about moving from CAD to ArchiCAD like Hernan Cortés did in 1519. What did he do, Willard? What did he do that was so successful that resulted in the whole new country being opened up? Now, good or bad, that's not the judgments we're making today. But he did defeat Aztec Empire, the whole empire, with what he had as far as troops. What did he do that was so unique?
Well, what he did is when he landed in Mexico, he instructed his troops to burn their ships. So basically, they gave themselves no way to turn back, and they had to progress on the journey that they had started many, many months ago, and they weren't going to turn back. So, I think that does a lot of things for drive. If you know that you can't go back to your old ways, then you're going to find a solution to the biggest troubles that you have.
Yeah. There's so many analogies in this world for, your back against the wall kind of a thing. And your back is against the wall because we talked pre-show and you already know this. You just don't want to hear us say this, but we'll say this. AI. I mean, Willard and I just used ChatGPT to come up with all kinds of interesting bullet points for this conversation. We're going to try to convince you in 10 minutes or less that this is the time to burn ships, to do Cortés, what Cortés did, and make your business thrive for the next decade, multi-decades, whatever, right? Because what happens with AI, Willard? What are you thinking? Like within 5 years, are we going to still be designing in CAD?
No, I think in 5 years, things are going to be totally different. I think that instead of us physically drafting out solutions, we will be giving parameters of what we want the solution to fit within. And yeah, I think that if you're not embracing AI or you're not necessarily keeping your finger on the pulse of AI, then you are already a little bit behind. And so you need to get out of your comfort zone and start exploring a little bit of what's out there, even at the most basic level.
And even so we're talking shifting to ArchiCAD. BIM is the way you need to run your company. And we're going to cover multiple things today really quick with you so you can get that taste. But you can go and look for our 10 steps. Like Willard and I spend months crafting, mostly Willard. I was just here for prompting, like a good prompt engineer. I got a lot of stuff out of his head and onto the 10 steps of conversion to ArchiCAD. It's deep. It can get a little bit technical, but man, that's a manual, right? And it's free. You can access it at getarchit.com. But without spending hours and hours right now, Willard, can we just kind of isolate a few kind of key decision points and like how you went from being a CAD engineer, designer, and a good one to like shifting and now realizing what benefits exactly in your own practice?
Yeah, I mean, I think that one of the inherent benefits of shifting is the efficiency, is the ability to do things more quickly. Now you're going from a system that wasn't designed to be as parametric or efficient, and now you're going to a highly parametric, highly efficient, highly optimized workspace that is conducive to both getting your team or yourself into like a flow state, and getting your project into a state that's going to be actively generating solutions versus doing the 2 steps forward and then the 2 steps back, or 1 step forward and 2 steps back kind of mentality. And I think, one thing that is the easiest part to not progressing forward is being comfortable. If you know what you're doing and you know how you have been doing it for many years or decades or whatever it is, then you're not going to necessarily feel comfortable in stepping out. And some of the best experience in life is when we do step out of that comfort level, within, a safety zone or within a safety net, to understand that like it's okay to go, into the parametric world. You're not going to lose you're not going to lose projects, you're not going to lose time, you're not going to lose profits. What you are going to do is going to gain exponentially the ability to solve problems more quickly with a more rich and complete solution than you have ever done before. And so, just like Cortés, you know, it's burn the ships. Take, you know, I don't want to be drastic, but we were talking about this before the show. But one idea is just take out your hard drive and stick a screwdriver through it, and then you'll be definitely committed to.
As an IT company, that helps architects and engineers, we just strongly advise against this. do not do do not do do not do that screwdriver through a hard drive, but because you're going to need that hard drive for something else, for like storing your pictures, because you're going to be in the cloud. Well, actually, you know what, here's kind of here's the thought process I have. Okay. I want you to go and look up the following thing in Google. Tim Ferriss, Ferris, fear setting exercise. Okay. Go do that. And fear setting exercise allows you to write out your deepest fears. You owe it to yourself. Like, okay, fine. Before you burn the ships, go do the fear setting exercise. As Willard said, like, what do you have to lose? Like, really, what is it that you have to lose? There might be stuff that you will write out that may seem costly, and you have to be aware of those. But set up your fears and then burn the ships. And then what is on the other side? Like Neo is like, I know kung fu, right? What Matrix? What's on the other side, Willard? Can you paint a picture of how beautiful it's going to be, how much money they're going to make, how life is going to be easy in your own examples?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, after you get through kind of the most difficult parts of the learning of Neo sitting up there for hours, like training, you're going to have efficiency and productivity leaps that you haven't ever seen before. You're
Give us
going
an
to be able
example.
to, for instance, you potentially could go from, a DD production set that took you 40 hours to something that took you 10 hours to create. Um, you might go from being able to work on 2 projects at one time during a week to working on 5. And so your ability to work on projects, your ability to be more efficient, be more accurate, to reduce kind of errors and omissions in the field could be significant, or rather than could be, will be far more significant than you've ever experienced.
Let's talk about money. Sorry,
Yeah.
I keep breaking you from your train of thought because we have a 10-minute show on this one. This is a vignette, so I'm gonna poke. The poke I have is from a money perspective. You told me specifically the way when you're bidding on projects, it's not hours. You're not like let's open that Pandora box a little bit, because you told me something that takes you 2 hours with your templates set up and ArchiCAD, all your stuff already almost there. So it takes you just a few hours to finish something and send it to a client, versus someone else in CAD. You have to bill for 10 to 15 to 20 hours. It doesn't mean you have to discount it, but it means your profitability is now right.
Yep.
It's right there. So you need to tell me a little bit more about that, because I think we spent some time on that in previous shows, but not here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's this historical approach to projects where we say, it's going to take 10 hours, and the idea is that somebody is going to actually take those 10 hours to actually do what it is, and it might take more. Once you step into this ArchiCAD kind of universe, parametric modeling, that thing that took you 10 to 15 hours, could easily take you, 2 to 3 hours. And especially if you have it set up, and then the repeatability and the ability to access multiple dimensions of information really quickly, as well as accurately, you're going to be able to save significant amounts of time getting even to the same place, but even potentially getting further than you would in that same amount of time, or triple or quadruple the amount of time that it would have taken you in CAD to get there. So the benefits are, significant. And I think one thing that we were kind of dabbling with is the person who is ready to pick up the phone and decide that they are ready to make that leap, but the fear of actually committing to it. And I think that's kind of what we are trying to push here is like, you need to adapt or be left behind. You are a dying breed, even though there might be a lot of you out there still doing it in a certain way. It's pretty quickly, once, you don't adapt or you don't take the time to learn kind of a new process or application, you are, surely going to be left behind. And I think another thing that, there's also, potentially a tangential kind of thing, which is just mental health. You are going to be a lot happier when you switch over.
Once you transition over.
Once you transition.
Yeah.
Because you'll be collaborating without chaos.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's always cosmic with Willard. But so here we go. I'm gonna tell you this straight up. To be competitive in a very near future, if somebody takes 3 hours to solve a project and deliver documentation and get the deal, get the business, and your firm takes 12, there's just no way you'll be able. This will accelerate. Get back to the competitive landscape. Become one of those forward-thinking companies. Let us help you. We're not just talking about it. We're doing it. Willard, ArchiCAD, we have resources for you. Okay, so go to getarchit.com. Send a form and say, hey, I'm ready to convert, or I'm thinking about conversion to ArchiCAD. What resource do we have? How can you help me? Let's talk about this. Let's not sit around and dream about a better business and be busy. Being busy is not productive. Here's what I want to say. Being busy is not productive. Being your strategic self and putting your strategic hat on and planning out your future, your success is what the leadership job is. This is how the companies grow. This is how your best employees stay with you. Okay. Because that's another thing for another day, but I'm going to finish it right here. Give us a call at getarchit.com. When I say call, I mean click at getarchit.com. Let us help you think through the conversion, plan the conversion, execute conversion, and make all this money and have all this fun and be healthy mentally. Now that you have really put your company in the best place to succeed in the future. Any parting words of wisdom, Willard?
No, burn those boats.
Burn the ships. All right. Thanks a lot for listening and watching. We'll see you on the next one.